Alright guys, it has been a pretty long time since I made a video on upcoming games you should know about, and I feel there's been a lot of good reveals recently. My hopes with every video like these is that you find at least one or two games you never knew existed, so let's get right into it. By the way, a like on these kind of videos would be really appreciated, as it helps the channel get seen a lot more. First of all, we have an upcoming ultra-realistic World War I game called Beyond the Wire, by the creators of the tactical FPS Squad and Postscriptum. The project is reportedly going extremely well at the moment, with updates arriving almost every single week, revealing more and more about its weapons, environments, and so on. I've always felt the need of a tactical World War I game, as opposed to Battlefield 1 for example, which was just all-out warfare, and I liked it too, but now I need Beyond the Wire. The game is a realistic large-scale multiplayer first-person shooter, immersing players in the frantic and bloody Western Front of the Great War. In battles with up to 100 real-world combatants, players will have to contend with large open maps and tight claustrophobic trenches. Utilizing both period-appropriate guns and a really tactical close-quarters melee combat system, the action in Beyond the Wire is more comprehensive than anything seen in a World War I game to date, as is said. The game is heavily focused on communication with other players and difficult decisions that have to be made on the battlefield. I cannot wait to see more of this, and I will let you guys know. Next up is Star Wars. If you haven't heard of this game yet because I talk about it so much on the channel, well, you're in luck, because this right here is a game that I think could explode in popularity when it finally releases. Star Wars is a single player or multiplayer action-adventure game in an open world full of mysteries to find and adventures to create. This world was once yours but has been completely retaken by nature and its natural inhabitants, which are both friendly and extremely dangerous creatures. The premise of Star Wars is that the players, up to 8 people online, need to rebuild their world from the ground up and have thriving villages, or if you're a bit more ambitious, massive cities. You can also be alone in the wild in your own little house and survive. While doing so, plenty of different creatures, either underwater or on ground, will be found, and each action you make will have an impact on their survival in this new ecosystem you're building. For example, if you decide to cut all of the same trees in an area, well, an animal might go extinct as time goes on, as it was its only source of food. Some animal or creature will definitely be aggressive towards your action though, and will attack you at any time given. There's also gonna be a lot of opportunities to tame some of the creatures and explore the world as you like. You can even do some gardening on them. There's a dinosaur with a really fertile back, so you can clamber up its tail, plant something, and then come back in a couple of days and reap the rewards. The developers also stated dark forces will be rising in the shadows and will be damaging all life close to it, so there's gonna be an action story of some kind to follow. Again, I cannot wait to know more about this project. Next up is Medic Pacific Corpsman. This game is a World War II game, but definitely not the one you expected. This is a game fully inspired by the real-life story and movie Hacksaw Ridge, where a soldier saved many of his soldier friends without using any weapon. This is a game centered on that, and I truly love the concept. You are playing as an American field medic, also known as a corpsman, serving in the US military during the Pacific War. It is your job to save your fallen brothers in arms from a certain death, or at least what remains of them. In this game, you are not a killer. Instead, you rescue your companions in the middle of the battleground. The HQ tasks you with locating the wounded, patching them up, and carry them on your back if needed. Thanks to you, they'll be able to return to their families, but before that, right back to the combat zone. Your actions not only save lives, they can change the outcome of the entire operation, and each decision you make will change the war. The environment in which you operate is also constantly changing, from bloody trenches to lush jungles to open environments. You will need to act fast and be cautious all the time. The enemy is all around. Avoid the opponents, hide from the bombshells, and dodge the bullets. Be on the move, survive, and help others survive. You choose your methods and how you distribute available supplies. Think before you act. Next up is Exomecha, one game announcement that I think wasn't really popular but deserved more. We're talking about a massively multiplayer multiplayer FPS game with transformer-like monsters that can be controlled, robotic dragons, vehicles, and more. Exomecha is a free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter that takes place on a planet called Omecha. The game provides players an immersive experience with its high-quality visuals, flexible gameplay, giant mechs, unique gadgets and abilities, and boss battles. As said, the unique gameplay brings limitless possibilities on how you engage in the combat. The planet Omecha is simply the land of giant bosses and mechs. In Exomecha, you will be able to control your personalized mechs. They will be equipped with both long-range firearms and giant melee weapons. The other distinguished elements in Exomecha is an independent AI-controlled dragon. It is basically everyone's enemy. In the middle of every match, the dragon will come to a random area and will start throwing its flames. Its presence will represent a danger zone, but there will be a high reward if you decide to go near him and engage. To survive in Omecha, you will need to use your customized character with your gadgets and abilities. As you can see in the trailer, the grappling hook interactions are unique to the game, and the future abilities will reflect the game characteristics as well. There's also going to be a ton of vehicles at your disposal, and each will be totally different. Next up, we have Crossfire X Campaign Mode. Now this would normally be a game I will almost never talk about, as I am not a huge fan of the Counter-Strike-like multiplayer element of this project. But since the Remedy developers, creators of Control and Alan Wake, are working on all of the campaign, I'm 100% in for it. The campaign looks exactly like a next-generation Call of Duty, and it is just great to look at. Known for their signature approach to storytelling, Remedy Entertainment has developed the campaign in close collaboration and partnership with Smilegate Entertainment. In the intense, fast-paced and action-packed trailer that debuted during the Xbox Showcase event just recently, we got our first look at the key characters in Operation Spectre, told from the perspective of Blacklist, one of the two warring mercenary factions players will meet in both campaign and the multiplayer experience. Operation Spectre is set in larger-than-life locations around the world, including Asia and South America, and introduces players to several key characters while exploring the backstory of the Blacklist global risk conflict. This is a campaign that will have to travel all around the world and do exciting Michael Bay-like missions. I cannot wait to play this. Next up, we have Scorn, one if not the most disturbing and best looking horror FPS game that's coming in 2021. Scorn is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world. Isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world, you will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. The unsettling environment is a character itself. Every location contains its own theme, puzzles, and characters that are integral in creating a cohesive world. Throughout the game, you will open up new areas, acquire different skill sets, weapons, various items, and try to comprehend the sights presented to you. Scorn takes place in an open-ended world with different interconnected regions. Each region is a maze-like structure with various rooms and paths to discover. All the storytelling happens in-game with Scorn, with no cutscenes to distract you from the grisly reality of the living, breathing world you're in. Inventory and ammo management is defined and limited. It plays a big role in keeping the player in an even greater state of awareness throughout the whole game. This is in my top 5 games I'm looking forward the most right now. It just feels completely unique and alien inspired at the same time. Next up, we have Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. This game is like a mix of Assassin's Creed and The Witcher and offers a new take on the legend of Robin Hood. Rather than there being one gang of outlaws out to rob from the rich to give to the poor, in this gritty medieval world, there are loads of outlaws looking to claim their share, and they all have different and violent methods to do exactly that. It's a game of multiplayer heisting that pits two rival gangs against maps of AI enemies in different environments. Not only do you have to get in and rob the place, but you have to contend with the other team along the way. It looks like a really great game to pass time and should remind you of the Assassin's Creed multiplayer of the past, which was just simple good time. Utilize the unique skills and mystical abilities of each character, moving in stealth to steal treasures unseen or dominating through loud and brutal combat.
But some of us will become legends.
Next up we have Atomic Heart, one of the most interesting upcoming game of whatever year it comes out. Since its official reveal back in 2018, Atomic Heart has been a widely anticipated upcoming release for many, with month-ish surreal, sci-fi survival horror games seemingly taking inspiration from the likes of BioShock and Prey. Atomic Heart is an adventure first-person shooter, events of which unfold in an alternative universe during the high noon of the Soviet Union. The main character of the game is a special agent who was sent to a highly secret object by the secret government after it went radio silent. The game is a very gory FPS, which combat consists of shooting and melee swinging with improvised weapons. There is a crafting system where the weapons can be pieced together from metal parts that can be detached from robots or taken from household appliances. The setting is an open-world Soviet setting with a massive pitch of weird insanity, action-packed gameplay, and a thrilling story that will keep you entertained for the whole duration of your journey into the world of Atomic Heart. The story is said to be 12 hours minimum. You will have plenty of time to unfold the many secrets, restore peace and order, and show the motherland what you got. Next up we have Plan 8. With this game, the studio aims for a revolution in the shooter genre. The game will introduce a large open world with unique features that distinguish it from other games in the genre. Into the game, players will get to wear an exosuit that enhances their power and give them different abilities. There are different kinds of gears for you to choose from, which opens up endless possibilities in this game. Some exosuit will counter others. You need to keep in mind the strengths and weaknesses of each suit to come up with a suitable plan for your battle. Take advantage of your strength, and the terrain around you will give you the upper hand in battle. For example, if your suit has enhanced arms, you will be able to climb walls easily, while enhanced legs will help you jump on top of walls and buildings. The weapon system of Plan 8 also gives players lots of options and diversities. You can upgrade your weapon or customize it any way you want. The only limit is your imagination. This is a PvE game, though there's been PvPvE that's been rumored. With the participation of Ming Lee, co-creator of Counter-Strike, Plan 8 is almost promised to be a big hit when it comes out. Alright guys, finally we have Bleak Fate Forsaken. This one looks super cool and is made by one very small indie team. It is a third-person open-world survival or action RPG set in a universe you've never experienced before. Play as one of the Forsaken, the last frontier of humanity against the growing horrors of the Omnistructure. As you find yourself stranded in a faraway outpost, you must adapt in order to survive. The world won't wait for you though, you must venture into the unknown, and your faith will decide your fate. Feel the burden of surviving in one of the last remaining outposts of the Forsaken, a legion of hunters condemned to protect the last vestige of humanity. The nature of your purpose, however, is shrouded in mystery, and as you delve deeper into the manifold halls of the Omnistructure, you will come to find the true meaning of alienation, isolation, and dread. It is a cross between cyberpunk and dark fantasy. Bleak Fate will offer a story and experience that will be a breath of fresh air for all gamers looking for something new. The world is full of lore, and every aspect of it is crafted with utmost passion and dedication to art. As a baseline, there is an estimated 30+ hours of content, a deep class system, and a procedural AI system that ensures that no playthrough is ever the same. Alright guys, that is all the game for today's video. If you'd like to see more projects like these, then make sure you drop a like and of course subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks to Themistocles, Pedro Oliveira, and Jigglyboy for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll support me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.